Hello everyone, my name's Austin. I'm here with another board game review. Board game. There's no board, but it's certainly a game. I like to review mostly first 1 and 2 player games. I try to show you other ways to play different games, but I like to give tips as well. So here I have FPI Mystery, Death of an Artist. So this is a pretty interesting game. It's for 12 and up, 1 to 20 players, and it says the gameplay is 2.5 hours. I think it took us 3 or more hours probably. It says you can make it last as long as you want, so you can pour over every single detail. And I would advise cutting the game up into segments. And I wouldn't do 20 people, definitely not 20. I probably wouldn't do over 5. But you need to pour over every detail anyway. But it says if you want to make it a longer game, you can pour over all the details and make it last longer. I have notes over here, 2 pages of it, 4 pages, and we definitely didn't take enough. I would advise cutting the actual game itself in half, or as close to half as you can. There's 5 different envelopes inside of this box, and each envelope has a different mystery it's all one mystery, the death of an artist, and there's 5 different envelopes inside, like this one, this first envelope. So, I'm going to go over a little bit of the directions. I'm going to talk about some envelopes, and then I'm going to talk about this game in general. So I wouldn't do more than probably 5 people. We did it with 2 people and lasted over 3, probably 4 hours. The directions say you want to read the objective that's inside the envelope. You want to review all the evidence. You want to discuss it with each other. Write some notes down as you're going through all the evidence. You want to then you can scan the QR code for hints. I didn't necessarily do that. You can attempt the solution before you open up the solution envelope inside of the game. Then you move on to the next phase. And there's 5 envelopes again. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And something I would like to mention is definitely write those notes. Because like I said, we stopped halfway, but there's every single envelope kind of builds on the next. So on the 3rd, 4th, 5th envelope, you might be using information from the 1st, 2nd, 3rd envelope. And it's actually really fun. It's very thought-provoking. You have to use a lot of logic. Every little no detail is too small for you to remember and use. So here is an example of an envelope. I'm going to show you some quality examples. Inside of it, here's the objective. It says, what evidence is there that Duncan met with someone on the day he died? And they're going to give you this information in the first envelope. You're going to get the Westlow town map, the place that it occurs. You're going to get the police report of his death and his fingerprints, which you're going to be able to use to identify anyone. They're going to provide you fingerprints, and you're going to be able to identify people's fingerprints that way. They give you this passport, an newsletter from the day he died. And then you find a couple of things in here. Here's the solution envelope. This, a little rose, a ticket to the botanical gardens. With the name and fingerprints on the back. And then an email. Forgot to mention, at the beginning of every envelope, you're going to want to read the email, which goes over basically all the information. And you're going to want to remember everything from the emails to the information you find to the solution. The solution can actually help you as well. And then I wrote some notes down. When you get to the end of all 5 envelopes, every envelope is going to be a different objective, but they're all to solve the reason for his death. So I wrote some notes that I'd like to go over real quick. I'm going to advise, don't overthink certain cases. I do want to mention, at the beginning, I was overthinking the cases, and then they had really simple answers, and then I stopped thinking that I needed to overthink them, and then they got to be really detailed answers, and I wasn't answering enough. And then the last envelope is going to ask you where. You'll know what I mean when you actually play the game. But it's going to ask where. And you're not going to want to answer where. You're going to want to answer what. And you'll see what I mean when you get through it. But yeah, I recommend the game. It seems actually pretty thought out. It's a one-time playthrough only though, so you can't really like play it again. You're gonna you could watch other people play it and then laugh at them not knowing the answers, or not getting something that you found or know about already. But yeah, all right, thank you guys.